right. We are going live. Welcome back to Live from NachVille. We'll kick this off with Accident of Birth. So I can't hear you here, but if you clap along at home, that would be great. Just do the hand jive. I won the parent lottery. My parents were so good to me. In a safe and prosperous place, I grew up in a time of peace. Like every child, I had my fears, but they stood by me through the years. And in time I came to realize not everybody lives a life of ease. It was an accident of birth. How much a life is worth in a particular time and place. It was nothing that I deserved, but it's really such a mystery where we land in human history. It's only just an accident of birth. If I'd been born some years before, I might have been sent off to war. In a different time or place, I could have been a peasant or a slave. But I never had to do without, or suffer famine's angry drought. And if you go back far enough, I could have grown up living in a cave. It was an accident of birth. How much a life is worth in a particular time and place. Well, it was nothing that I deserved, but it's really such a mystery where we land in human history. It's only just an accident of birth. Keep those hand claps going at home. Here we go. Oh, she grew up 15 miles away. Our stories are like night and day. The daughter of an addict, on the streets abandoned and abused. And though she's learned to rise above, a life so hard with little love. If she had another chance, you know this wouldn't be the life she'd choose. It was an accident of birth. How much a life is worth in a particular time and place. Well, it was nothing that she deserved, but it's really such a mystery where we land in human history. It's only just an accident of birth. Oh, it's only just an accident of birth. All right. Oh, so amazing to see. Every time I do this, once I've got the chat working, it always amazes me to see my friends out there from far-flung places. My goodness, Marrakesh, Berlin, Southern California, Northern California, England. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really, really do appreciate it. I just got back from a 2-week trip on the East Coast and had an amazing week doing a songwriting and recording camp with my friend Ronan Chris Murphy and Liz Redwing. And we had just an amazing group of people. After that, I did a couple shows on the East Coast, one in New Jersey and one up in Maine. Actually, two in New Jersey. Had sort of an add-on show there. The one in Maine was actually a fundraiser for the Animal Refuge League of Greater Portland. That's Portland, Maine. And that put me in mind of this next song, which I don't think I've done lately. It's called A Cautionary Tale. Oh, the new guitar. I got a few comments about that from some of my guitar camp buddies. It is actually not a new guitar. It is the Dave Knack signature model made by Phil Crump quite a long time ago, and it actually is the one thing that when a lot of my instruments were stolen, it came back to me, only because it had my name in abalone there, and a friend of mine saw somebody playing it, and I was able to recover it. So yes, I'm giving the Crump a little chance to play because the Martin gets all the love most of the time. So this one stays at home ever since it disappeared. Oh, we got Florida too. Yeah, I had. Well, he walked into her life without a warning. You could say he threw himself into her car. Sometimes takes a desperate measure to be rescued. Sometimes even desperate measures go too far. Well, she took him home. She thought that he looked hungry. She didn't stop to wonder if he'd stay. She cleaned him up, made sure he wasn't injured. And that dog's been with us ever since that day. And we called him Fender, just like my guitar. Yeah, we named him Fender. He threw himself into our lives when he threw himself into our car. Now, like many folks, we rented an apartment with no space for a growing dog to roam. But puppies need a yard that they can play in. And the next thing that we knew, we'd bought a home. And then Fender ate a pincushion and a 1-pound box of chocolate. He doesn't like it when we leave him home alone too long. So now we take him with us almost everywhere we go. He's waiting in the van while I'm singing you this song. And we named him Fender, just like my guitar. Yeah, we named him Fender. He threw himself into our lives when he threw himself into our car. Well, so now we've got a minivan and mortgage, and I guess it hasn't done us too much harm. But you never know where life is gonna lead you, and if she hits a horse, we'll have to buy a farm. The true story of how Fender the dog got his name and we became homeowners many years ago. All right, wow, we got Wales and England and Minnesota and all over the place. Let's see. Oh, okay. Well, I want to do this next one. This is as I often say one of my favorite songs that I've written. And the best thing about being on the East Coast, one of the best things was I got to see my daughter Sophia, who's just started college in the Boston area, and got to see the lovely campus where she is. So this was not actually written for her because it was written before she was born, but it's become her song, and I'll dedicate it to her today. It's called All Too Human. Sophia, I'm just trying to seek the truth, but maybe it's too much to even reach for you. Please excuse these clumsy phrases that I use. Sophia, I'm just trying to seek the truth, but I'm human, all too human, trying to make some sense out of it all. But yes, I'm human, all too human, just a prisoner who sometimes uses reason, sometimes uses heart to see beyond these shadows as they flicker on the wall. Sophia, come and guide my thirsty heart. Seems I've spent a lifetime just rehearsing for the part. Don't just slip away before my journey starts. Sophia, come and guide my thirsty heart. Because I'm human, all too human, trying to make some sense out of it all. Yes, I'm human, all too human, just a prisoner who sometimes uses reason, sometimes uses heart to see beyond these shadows as they flicker on the wall. Why can't I ever seem to find the light? For all my good intentions, I can't seem to get it right. Will I recognize Sophia if she comes to me at night? Why can't I ever seem to find the light? Because I'm human, all too human, trying to make some sense out of it all. Well, yes, I'm human, all too human, just a prisoner who sometimes uses reason, sometimes uses heart to see beyond these shadows as they flicker, beyond these shadows as they flicker on the wall. Thanks so much. All right. Well, during this last year and a half plus that it's been since this pandemic started, one of the main things I've been doing, as some of you know, is a lot of recording, doing studio work for various friends, mostly not here. Nobody actually has really been in my studio since it started, so it's all been remote, and I've done quite a few different projects for various people. Sadly, one of my friends who I was doing some work for during the pandemic passed away recently, not from COVID, but otherwise, and a little bit unexpectedly as well. We finished his project, which was an EP, just before he passed away, and I'm so glad that we did. His name was David Dix, and this next song was his favorite of mine, and every time I played that I saw him, he would always request it. So I want to dedicate this to him. Anyway, this is called Conservation Law. In another place, in another time, baby, I was yours, and you know that you were mine. That flash of recognition sparkles in your eyes. That kind of love we had, I guess it never really dies. There's a law of conservation. Love is never really gone. It just forms new combinations, and love keeps going on. Yeah, love keeps going on. It could never work, there's too much of a gap. Like two trains on a schedule, we just can't jump off this track. It's the way you tilt your head and lift your eyebrows slow. The memory's so clear, though it's many lives ago. There's a law of conservation. Love is never really gone. It just forms new combinations, and love keeps keeps going on. Yeah, love keeps going on. So you go back to your family, and I'll go back to mine, with a tiny sense of loss, but you know we'll both be fine. Just a momentary echo and a blip of cosmic chance. I'll look up from this checkout line and come out of this trance. There's a law of conservation. Love is never really gone. It just forms new combinations, and love keeps going on. Yeah, love keeps going on. Yeah, love keeps going on. Yeah. All right. Thanks so much. Wow. Okay. A note from Bug. Very cool. You know what? I will do this. And we've got Brian chiming in as well. This is not a request show, but this was actually on my list. I'm just going to change the order a little bit. So this is a song that I wrote many, many years ago. It was on an early release, a cassette release. I'm going to just mute the guitar so it doesn't start making noises in the middle of things. Give me 1 second here. Oh, interesting. We didn't actually have the guitar in. Could you guys hear the guitar okay out there? Huh? We just get picked up by the mic. All right. So this was written a long time ago. The original title of the song was If I Touched You, but in these times that title didn't really seem to work. So I changed the title of the song to At the End of the Day. So it is a different end of the day than the Al Stewart end of the day. As Brian says, the cognizant, he could be confused. Anyway, my brothers and I have been working on a recording of this. We don't have a video for it yet, but eventually we will. And actually, Bug, I believe you did some singing on that. So let's see if we can remember all the words. This is called At the End of the Day. Well, there's many a lonely mile, and there's many a long goodbye. There's many a tearful smile, there's many a heartfelt cry. Looking back on the time gone by, I remember things I've seen. Oh, well, it's not what you've done, no, it's what it means. And if I touched you, and if I moved you, and if I helped you on your way, then I could look back and smile at the end of the day. Too many bitter words. There's too many angry fights. There's too many cries unheard. But looking back on the years gone by and all the times that I've been burned, well, it's not what you know, no, it's what you've learned. And if I touched you, and if I moved you, and if I helped you on your way, then I could look back and smile at the end of the day. the song, and I don't know if you'll understand. And I don't know if I'll be here long. And I don't know if you'll take my hand. Looking into your eyes, I think I can almost see the truth. Oh, but the truth isn't there, no, no, it's up to you. And if I touched you, and if I moved you, and if I helped you on your way, then I could look back and smile at the end of the day. Yeah, if I touched you, and if I moved you, and if I helped you on your way, then I could look back and smile at the end of the day. All right. At the end of the day. So let's see. Well, this is October, so this is the month of my son Django's birthday coming up, and this next song was written back when he was little. Let's say has paused on its own a few times. This is called See the World. So this was written when he was a little baby pretty much, and now he's a big old teenager. So this is for Django. It's called See the World. Hey, you little monkey man, hold on to your mama's hand. See it all with open eyes. With energy and wonderment, novelty and innocence, everything's a big surprise. I wish I could see the world like you do. I wish I could see the world like you. Life is just beckoning, even the smallest things give you such a joyous thrill. Living in the present tense, using each and every sense, rolling down a grassy hill. I wish I could see the world like you do. I wish I could see the world like you. Each day I punch the clock, duty calls, I do my job, dragging through another day. Hey, hey. Somewhere inside of me waiting to be set free is a little guy like you. Put down my fears and doubts, open up and let them out. I could change my point of view, and maybe I'd see like you do. Maybe I'd see the world like you. Maybe I'd see the world like you do. I wish I could see the world like you. All right, a little rattle here on the keyboard because it's getting a little too excited. So I should mention, really appreciate that all you guys are here. And as you know, this one is a benefit for NAMI Yolo, an organization here in Yolo County where I live that supports not only folks with mental illness, but the families of folks with mental illness. And I don't know the exact statistics, but I know that it's I think something like 1 in 5 families in this country at least are touched by mental illness in some way and have somebody in their family struggling with mental illness, and there's a tremendous stigma attached to it, which groups like NAMI are really working to overcome, which is fantastic. They do great work, and 18% of all donations collected today are going to be passed on to them. So please do donate if you can, and you can also donate directly to them if you want to. As I said, they do great work, and I'm really happy to be supporting them. This next song is really kind of about how wherever we stand in terms of our mental and physical health and everything, we're all really just doing the best we can, and that's the name of this song, and it's from the Cerulean Sky album, the last one that I did. It goes like this. Standing at the curbside, she's swaying as she's praying. I saw her there last Tuesday, tears were streaming down her face. Bags around her feet, her hands nervously ringing. I could hear her softly singing, sounded like Amazing Grace. She's doing the best she can, taking what she's been given, living the only life she's got. So I try to understand, she's doing the best she can. Maybe she'll be forgiven, just like you and me. She's doing the best she can. Old Toyota truck is rolling down the window, letting loose a string of curses that could make a sailor blush. Slamming on the horn at the line of cars before him as the traffic inches forward. Soon I've lost him in the crush, but he's doing the best he can, taking what he's been given, living the only life he's got. So I try to understand, he's doing the best he can. Maybe he'll be forgiven, just like you and me. He's doing the best he can. When the factory closed and the kids had grown, so different from the days when they first married. He pulls up to the curbside, she climbs right up beside him. He tells her of another job that somehow got away. Dries her eyes, she hugs him. They drive to their apartment. He promises her somehow everything will be okay. They're doing the best they can, taking what they've been given, living the only life they've got. So try to understand, we're all doing the best we can. Maybe we'll be forgiven, taking it one day at a time. We're all just doing the best we can, taking it one day at a time. We're all just doing the best we can. So I'm going to do another one that I actually didn't write, although I wish I'd written it, and not just because of the royalties. I just think it's a great song. It's another one that actually my brothers and I are planning to record and eventually make a video for. And it's another one that if I were playing live in the room with you guys, I'd ask y'all to help me sing. So I can't do that here because I can't know if you're actually singing along, but I'm hoping you're singing along at home to this next one. It's the greatest Elvis song that Elvis didn't sing by Mark Cohn. It's called Walking in Memphis. Here we go. Put on my blue suede shoes and I boarded the plane. I touched down in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain. W.C. Handy, won't you look down over me? Oh, I've got a first class ticket, but I'm blue as a boy can be. And I'm walking in Memphis, walking with my feet 10 feet off a Beale. I was walking in Memphis, but do I really feel the way I feel? I saw the ghost of Elvis down on Union Avenue, and I followed him up to the gates of Graceland, where I watched him walk right through. The security, they did not see him, no, they just hovered around his tomb. But there's a pretty little thing just waiting for the king right down in the jungle room. When I was walking in Memphis, I was walking with my feet 10 feet off a Beale. I was walking in Memphis, but do I really feel the way I feel? Well, they've got catfish on the table, they've got gospel in the air. Reverend Green, be glad to see you. If you haven't got a prayer, even you got a prayer in Memphis. Well, now Muriel plays piano every Friday in the Hollywood, and so they brought me down to see her. They asked me if I would do a little number, and so I sang with all my might. And she said, tell me, are you a Christian child? And I said, ma'am, I am tonight, 'cause I'm walking in Memphis. Was walking with my feet 10 feet off a Beale. I was walking in Memphis, but do I really feel the way I feel? I'm walking in Memphis, was walking with my feet 10 feet off a Beale. I was walking in Memphis, but do I really feel the way I feel? I put on my blue suede shoes and I boarded the plane. I touched down in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain. I touched down in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain. Walking in Memphis by Mark Cohn. All right, let's get back to the guitar for a little bit here. Let's see what we got. Yeah, Walking in Davis. Not sure it has quite the same ring to it. If anyone could do it, Brian, I think you could. Make a parody of Walking in Memphis, Walking in Davis. He's written some amazing parodies. So this is one of many songs on this list that my friend Jared Ingersoll picked out. He picked my set list more or less whole out of whole cloth last time, and everybody loved the set list. So I was like, maybe he knows better than I do what to play. All the good ones are Jared's picks. All the ones you're not so crazy about, that was me. But this was one of his. I was warming up for the show, and my wife Jen heard me. She said, "Oh, there's your Pollyanna song." And I said, "Well, kind of, but really it's my Leibniz song." This is from the album Spinoza's Dream, which is, as some of you know, a philosophically themed album where every track relates to a different philosopher. So the philosopher Leibniz was known for, among other things, saying that we live in the best of all possible worlds. He was lampooned by Voltaire for that in the character of Dr. Pangloss. And when I was thinking about a Leibniz track for the album, I was thinking, well, is there like a modern version of the best of all possible world? I don't know. Maybe it's all good. So, didn't set out to write an autobiography, but it turned into one. This is, it's called All Good. Young man living on his own in New York City, chasing down the shadow of a dream. One day finds out that the business has no pity. Met a man who wasn't what he seemed, though he destroyed me for a while. Looking back now I just smile, 'cause it's good. It's all good. It's good. It's all good. Seeking refuge in those hallowed ivory towers, I realized my terrible mistake. Years spent wrestling the academic powers. In the end I only narrowly escaped, and though it's painful to recall, now I have no regrets at all. But it's good. It's all good. And all those troubles that I faced helped to bring me to this place where it's good. It's all good. The best of all possible worlds. It's all good. I know I don't need a financial advisor to know I'll never be a millionaire. Years pass, is there any hope I'm getting wiser? Streaks of silver running through my hair, but looking back on where I've been, I wouldn't trade this life I'm in, 'cause it's good. It's all good. Everything's exactly as it needs to be. Sometimes you can't see from where you stand that it's good. It's all good. All is good. It's all good. All right. It's all good. Well, this being October, I thought maybe a couple of ghost stories might be in order with Halloween coming up, and I've got a few of them. This next song is actually one that I don't get a lot of requests for, but I kind of like it, and I found out that a band or a duo in England is covering it, and they sent me a video of themselves doing it, which was pretty cool. Eventually, maybe I'll share that on Facebook or something like that with their permission. I love it when people learn the songs and cover them. I had two friends at guitar camp. Vic, who's here today, was one of them, covered Autumn there, and my friends Lynn and Steve did a lovely version of Kindred Spirits. So this next one is called Ghost in the Attic. So it's a good one for Halloween time, but it's not really that scary a ghost story. I think you can handle it. gentle creaking on the stairs, and I turn around. She's coming down now. I know she's coming down. A slight disturbance in the air and a tiny sound. She's coming down now. Yeah, I know she's coming down. But I'm not afraid of the ghost in my attic. Yeah, I'm not afraid, but I get wistful sometimes. She's all I've got, this ghost in my attic. I hear the echo of her voice each time the clock chimes. For 50 years we shared this house in life and love. So she's not gone, she can't be gone now. Maybe she couldn't stand to leave me here alone. Maybe it's me, can't stand to let her go. But I'm not afraid of the ghost in my attic. No, I'm not afraid, but I get wistful sometimes. She's all I've got, this ghost in my attic. I hear the echo of her voice each time the clock chimes. And the kids say it's just memories, and the doctor says it's grief. But I've seen her in the mirror in the hall, and it doesn't matter much that nobody else believes. She's real enough for me. Every night the lamp flickers by my bed. I hear her name. She says I love you. I pull the quilt she made up tight, lay down my head. I hear her voice, and I know she's with me. But I'm not afraid of the ghost in my attic. No, I'm not afraid, but I get wistful sometimes. She's all I've got, this ghost in my attic. I hear the echo of her voice each time the clock chimes. All right. So that's one ghost song, and I'll follow with one more. This one is a ghost song. It was actually co-written with Al Stewart, who, as many of you know, I toured with for about 17 years. And this was actually written, I think, before we started touring together. But it concerns my wife's ancestor, Adam Bauer, who came over from Germany before the American Revolution and was on the, from our point of view, the wrong side, because his family was granted land by King George III in what's now North Carolina, and they wound up going up to Canada. So she has a lot of Canadian relations. I also found out that on another part of my wife's family tree, she's descended, my children are therefore descended from one of the witches from Salem, that was one of the women that was hung as a witch in the Salem witch trials. So they've got a pretty interesting family background. Anyway, this one concerns Adam Bauer, and it's called The Loyalist, but it is really kind of a ghost story. I see my name all over town, from the shop signs to the graveyard. And I've wandered here for 200 years. down through every generation. Sometimes I wonder, do they ever think of me? A distant figure from the past, moss-covered headstone, just a piece of history. How did my story fade so fast? I am the loyalist. Our crops were in a well-earned rest. We heard the hoofbeats in the twilight, and we were told horses and gold were needed for the insurrection. Though I knew what it might cost us, I replied, whose bread I eat, his song I sing. They beat me bloody, called me filthy Tory spy, but I would not betray my king. I am the loyalist. They said revolution is the anvil where freedom must be forged. They said that I should fight for freedom, but I owe liberty and life to King George. So once again, we had to flee, taking just what we could carry, to try once more on these rocky shores, to build our farms in this new country. Like dancing beggars here, we did the best we could, claiming this land by Shelburne Bay. I'll run no further, no, I'm staying here for good, while my descendants move away. I am the loyalist. I see my name all over town, from the shop signs to the graveyard, and I've wandered here for 200 years, down through every generation. The Loyalist. Thanks. All right. Thanks, Roy. I don't think I know you yet, but good to meet you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I guess I should make a quick commercial announcement here while I can. Not only the studio has been kind of keeping me going during all this time, and if you have any tracks you need recorded or records you need produced or songs you need produced, please do get in touch with me. I also have guitar string jewelry made by a woman named Kathy Miller in North Carolina out of my actual guitar strings and bass strings. I've been selling it when I'm on the road, but it's also available on my website. So if you go to davenach.com, you can do some early holiday shopping and pick up some guitar string jewelry. We also have vinyl versions of Cerulean Sky, the latest album, and CDs, of course, of various other things. So do some early shopping if you can. I'm going to do another song I didn't write, but it's just so perfect for this time of year. It's by one of my favorite songwriters, Richard Shindell, who a lot of you probably haven't heard of, but if you haven't, go look him up. He's got some amazing songs. This is kind of a fun one from one of his first albums. It's called Are You Happy Now? Let's see if I can remember all this. took the toaster when you went. You never paid your half the rent. You took the spices from the rack, but you don't have to put them back. 'Cause in your haste on Halloween, you left your camera on my bed where we played roles in black and white. You left a roll of black and white. I put the lens up to my head, lens to my head. Took a photograph of you. What comes out gray is really red. So are you happy now? Are you happy now? Smashed your pumpkin to the floor. The candle flickered at my feet. As goblins flew across the moon, children peered into the room. A cowboy shivered on the porch. Cinderella checked her watch. A hobo waited in the street. An angel whispered, trick or treat. So what was I supposed to do but to sit there in the dark? I was amazed to think that you would take the candy with you too. So are you happy now? Are you happy now? I sat all night, now it's gone, and I cannot believe my eyes. There's garbage strewn across the lawn where we once stared up at the skies. Streams of paper filled the trees that hovered over you and me. Shaving cream covers the car that we picked up in Baltimore. Though I know it's hard to tell, I hope that what's-his-name treats you well. I still maintain that he's a bum, but it's your money, have some fun. So are you happy now? Are you happy now? You always asked why I had not written you a verse or two. Since that's the one thing I regret, I dedicate this one to you. So are you happy now? Are you happy now? Are you happy now? Missed one line, but got most of them. I love that song. I don't think I could ever write anything that bitter, but it's funny too, and it's so perfect for Halloween. I just love that. I was amazed to think that you would take the candy with you too. Just says it all. Let's see. Well, I had some requests from Midnight Sea earlier. I'm not really trying to turn this into an all request show, but I'll do that one since a couple people wanted to hear it. We'll do the Cut Capo version. There's a Dad Ged version and a Cut Capo version. Hopefully I won't get mixed up between them. So this is a song, as I like to say, it's a song about dinoflagellants, which sounds either rude or kinky, but actually they're just the little critters that live in the water and they glow when the water gets stirred up, and I always wanted to put them in a song, so this is the one. When the horses go down to the water at night, when the moon silhouettes the pelican's flight, will you promise to meet me by the phosphorus light? In the glow of the midnight sea, in the glow of the midnight sea. Now my hunger's as sharp as the salt in the air, cuts a trail through the night like a comet of flare. On the dunes in the distance, catch a glimpse of your hair. In the glow of the midnight sea, in the glow of the midnight sea. Yes, and far away the steel drum plays, the sound tumbles over the breeze, and the palm trees sway just like dancers in the glow of the midnight sea, in the glow of the midnight sea. we're rolling together down deep in the sand, and I feel you respond to the touch of my hand, and you're slick as the seals that come up on the land. In the glow of the midnight sea, in the glow of the midnight sea, yes, and far away a steel drum plays, the sound tumbles over the breeze, and the palm trees sway just like dancers in the glow of the midnight sea, in the glow of the midnight sea. Then I wonder how many small diamonds it takes to light up the water like the love that we make. And I'll hold you till morning or whenever you wake, 'cause you glow like the midnight sea. Yes, you glow like the midnight sea. All right, the midnight sea. For a couple of you that asked, thanks for the request. Let's see. We got time for one or two more, I think. Well, this is another one that Jared put on his list, so. This was written many years ago during what I think of as the dark days of graduate school. When I was a little lost, and so, you know, if any of you are feeling a little lost out there, which we all do sometimes, you know, I'd like to tell you it can get better, it will get better. So, I no longer feel like I did when I wrote this song, so that's probably a good thing. It's called Without a Compass or a Map. I wanna feel like that falcon, flying fast above the field, so swift and low. But I can't calculate the miles that have rolled beneath my wheels. Where did they go? Oh, but I'll walk through the valley of Shiloh, and I'll crawl through the desert of the damned, and I don't know where this pathway might take me, or how I got to where I am. I'm gonna find my way back, find my way back to me. I'm gonna find my way back to the man I used to be. Without a compass or a map, I'm gonna find my way back to me. Now peeling off the makeup and the masks I used to wear so many years, but I'm afraid to take that final mask away, see who's under there. What do I fear? Oh, but I'll open wide my windows and try to leave my door unlatched, to let the nightmare monsters in and free myself at last. I'm gonna find my way back, find my way back to me. I'm gonna find my way back to the man I used to be. Without a compass or a map, I'm gonna find my way back to me. And like a prophet in the wilderness, sometimes my words fall on deaf ears, but sometimes a voice at the end of the phone line can warm my soul. To go back to believing in fairy tales, or even a part of the dream. To go back to a time when my spirit was present, a time when my spirit was whole. I'm gonna find my way back, find my way back to me. I'm gonna find my way back to the man I used to be. Without a compass or a map, without a compass or a map, without a compass or a map, I'm gonna find my way back to me. All right, without a compass. Thanks so much. Time for one or two more maybe, and let you guys get on with your day, or in the case of my friends across the pond, get on with your night, because somebody stayed up pretty late to tune in, and I appreciate that very much. We tried to schedule this early enough in the day so that you guys could make it, hopefully. Let's see what a phone line is. Brian, it's great. Hi, Neil. All right. It just popped into my head to do this one. Thank you guys for listening, and thank you guys who've donated. In addition, of course, to the studio work, the live stream and the donations that I've gotten from that have been another thing that's kept me and my family going all this time. So I really, really do appreciate that, everybody who's donated today and in the past. I see a lot of familiar faces. I know a lot of you have been here before and been extremely generous, so thank you. And a big thanks to Jared Ingersoll, who picked a good chunk of my set list, although this next one was not one that he picked, so he can't be blamed for it. Well, we can't get them all in there. Thank you, Melvin, for the request. I think I did that last time. I'm trying to do some different things. I don't have another live stream scheduled yet, but I'm planning to set one up, I think, for November. I'm really interested, again, in trying to do things that encourage change in the world in a good direction. So if anybody has a cause that's dear to your heart, talk to me and let's see if we can set up a benefit or a fundraiser. Maybe as a live stream for now, and then when things open up again, maybe even in person. Hopefully we'll get to do some of those in the future. So this is called The Painter. Inspired by a photograph. His world had grown confusing. His vision had gone dim. He was starting to forget the very things that made him him. In the shadow of the bridge span, he is not quite what he seems. Now the colors, shapes, and lines are sharp and vivid in his dreams. John says he's a painter, once famous for his art. John says he's a painter, now he's only painting deep within his heart. They loved his work in Europe, from Amsterdam to Rome. And for a time he settled down. He had a family and a home. But fortune can be fickle. He was left without a dime. Now the shadow of the man is growing fainter over time. John says he's a painter, once famous for his art. John says he's a painter, now he's only painting deep within his heart. And the camera seems to capture the soul that lies within. There was a time his brush could capture images of almost anything. Here we go. John says he's a painter, once famous for his art. John says he's a painter, now he's only painting deep within his heart. Deep within his heart. Within his heart. Thanks so much. All right. It's been a pleasure to play for you. Thank you guys, each and every one of you, for coming out. And thank you guys, so many of you, for being part of my story. Some for many years, some for a little less, but all super important, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm not going to finish with Grateful just because I've done that so many times. I'm going to finish with a different one, which was a pick of Jared's. Again, thank you to NAMI Yolo for all the work that you do and continuing to support all of us here in Yolo County with your work, and thank you to you guys for helping to support them. I'll finish up with a song called Glorious, which I think kind of in some way sums up my attitude about people in general. It goes like this. Have you seen a newborn baby? The wonder in her eyes. Every sight and sound's astounding. And every moment's a surprise. Mother smiling at her laughter. Father's babbling like a child. Now they're cast into a new world by the glory of her smile. Yeah, we were glorious once, and we're glorious still. If we take the time to look, we can see that glory well. See that man there on the corner, rags are wrapped around his feet. A shopping cart to hold his life in. He's out begging on the street, but turn the clock back 60 years. Who's that laughing little boy? He's playing with his sister. His mother's pride and joy said we were glorious once. You can sing along at home if you like. And we're glorious still. If we take the time to look, we can see that glory well. And when we reach out to each other, oh, let her smile come shining through. Just for a moment, feel the glory. No matter what else we've been through. Here we go. Yeah, we were glorious once, and we're glorious still. If we take the time to look, we can see that glory well. Yeah, we were glorious once. We were glorious once. And we're glorious still. We're glorious still. If we take the time to look, we can see that glory well. Thanks so much. Quick shout out to Steve in England. Hope you're feeling better. In regards to everybody, thank you for being here today, and I will be back with another live stream, hopefully within the next month or so, so keep your eye on the website, and we'll let you know where that's going to be. Everybody take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.